Hello, everybody. So we've got some panicked stuff going on right now. Caroline Leavitt is panicked. She's been. First of all, I want to tell you this right here, this right here. So this this number. Call this number if you want to make a difference and talk about Brian Kill 'em all, Kilmeade calling for the annihilation of the entire homeless population of the United States. If you want to do something about that, call this number and tell them what you think about it. Yes, this is incredibly important. You have Moran, who was a MSNBC reporter, and he got fired for just stating an objective fact that when you lead with hate speech, hateful actions follow. And I'm going to tell you, Caroline Leavitt. Now, they're White House is trying to distance itself now from the firing of Jimmy Kimmel, the direct, absolute government overreach that we've been seeing happen in our in the fascist states of America lately. So Rolling Stone said that in the hours leading up to the decision to pull Kimmel, two sources familiar with the matter say that senior executives at ABC, its owner Disney, and affiliates convened emergency meetings to figure out how to minimize the damage. Multiple execs felt that Kimmel had not actually done anything wrong or been over the line, but they still said that the threat of the Trump administration retaliation loomed. They were pissing themselves all day, one ABC insider told Rolling Stone. So even before Trump won the 2024 election, there was worries about him. He's been talking about taking Kimmel's broadcast license all this time. In fact, he even put out a tweet over a couple months ago about it. So he'd been wanting to take. He'd already been wanting to take it. So you can't say that he wasn't. He didn't want to take it. He wanted it. And also, he said that Stephen Colbert, after Stephen Colbert was fired, oh, I love that he lost his job. Jimmy Kimmel's next. We all heard it. We all saw it. That was his tweet. So to say now that and it wasn't us. We're trying to distance ourselves now. It wasn't us. It was you. It was you. You demanded that he be fired because you have such thin little skin. You can't handle being made fun of. God, authoritarians cannot stand to be ridiculed. They just can't. It's like, it's like having little bugs on their skin at all times. They're just wincing with every mean word. Ouch, ouch. They're just miserable because people hate them. You know what he says when he says that shit about, he's been calling leftists, liberals, Democrats, all of them. He's been calling us all fascists for a couple of years at least. Fascist, Marxist, communist, because he doesn't know the difference between any of those politics. He doesn't know the difference between a Marxist and a fucking socialist, for instance. It's the Wall Street Journal even came out inside Disney's abrupt decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel's show. The late night host wanted to address the firestorm over his remarks about Charlie Kirk's killing on Wednesday's show. Company leaders worried that it would make things worse. He didn't say anything. All he said was that, there's a lot of, chaos on the right as they try to do everything they can to paint the alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk as anything but one of them. Yeah, that's what they were doing. I'm telling you, there was a coordinated messaging attack as soon as he got shot. I'm going to tell you, within a minute, the right was saying, it was the left. We have to bring the full force of the federal government down upon Democrats and all democratic institutions and all the mechanisms by which they fund their campaigns, which is what they wanted to do anyway. Okay? This is what they wanted to do regardless. They wanted to come after left-wing politicians, creators, podcasters, anybody who editorializes about this administration and talks shit about Trump and his tiny little pee-pee and the Epstein, the birthday book. Holy cow, we've got a lot. I've got all of the pictures from that birthday book. And I will be I will be showing them in a slideshow. This, I'm not going to stop talking about it. It's incredibly important to us right now. It's important. It's important that people know, if they don't know already, that we have a president of the United States who is involved in the biggest cover up ever. If you didn't see the hearings, that Kash Patel was drugged through the mud, I mean, through 3, 4 days of hearings, it was it was great. He can't answer one question. When they say, "Well, how many times was Donald Trump's name in the Epstein files?" And he says, "Well, I can't tell you." He said, "What do you mean you can't tell me? How many times was it there? Um, was it more than 100 times? Nope. Was it more than 1,000 times? Nope. It's not a number. I can't tell you." Of course you can tell us, Cash. Of course you can. Before he before he got his nice cushy job, he was all over talking about how there has to be accountability. And if he was in the government, he would expose everybody. See, because us over here, pro democracy folks over here, we don't give a rat's ass who's in the Epstein files. We want all of them, if they had anything to do with child exploitation, child trafficking, or the rape of minors, we want them locked up. We don't discriminate. We don't care who they were. See, we're not running cover trying to protect our billionaires over here on this side. That's not what we're doing. I'm sorry, but I mean, if Obama, that's a man I love deeply, if he were in the Epstein files, my love for him, it would sizzle up and dry like water flicked on a hot griddle. I'm telling you, it would be over between us, and I would gleefully cheer along his arrest and incarceration if Obama were on the Epstein list. And I think we kind of all know he's not. But if Bill Ackman, how about Bill Ackman? What about all the other people that Trump's been trying to, I don't want to say their names. I didn't want to say his name, but I just did. Oh, Ackman, yeah, let's talk about him. I didn't want to talk about him. I didn't want to mention it, but I just did. He's out of it. He's out of it. He's deranged. He can't even talk about anything important without segueing off into this rambling bullshit about a ballroom. Nobody wants a fucking ballroom. We didn't ask for a ballroom. We don't want a ballroom. Oh, we've been trying to get it for 150 years. Nobody's been trying to get a ballroom built next to the White House for 150 fucking years. That is categorically false. Okay? Nobody wants a ballroom. Nobody. And I know that the Heritage Foundation and Stephen Miller, who's behind all of this scooping up and terrorizing of our brown communities all over the country, and mostly in Democratic cities, of course. Stephen Miller, who's behind all this, and the rest of the Heritage Foundation, and Tom Homan, who just got caught on camera taking a $50,000 cash bribe from undercover FBI agents, promising them to get government contracts. I'm sure it's in the private prison industry. That's what they need all these brown people off the streets for, so they can stuff them into these private prisons that they've erected all over the United States. And that way, the money from those private prisons will funnel in to the Friends. And I'm sure he's already taken bribes. And in the private prisons that all the contracts that they've given these private prison builders and runners, I'm sure that's all from this. I'm sure they've all bribed him already. We just didn't catch those bribes on tape. So what's going to happen? Trump's going to drop the charges? He's going to just throw the investigation, just sweep it under the rug? That's what he's going to do? I just can't believe that some of the people that we have in office right now, like Lindsey Graham, he was absolutely against Trump back in the day. He said Trump is going to ruin our party. Well, he did. He hijacked it purposely. Steve Bannon, I remember them talking about before Trump got it. Yeah, you have to just hijack the Republican Party. It's ripe for it, Steve Bannon said. It's ripe for it. Let's just hijack the Republican Party and use it. We can use their PACs. We can use all their advertising. We can use the RNC to fund our campaign. Oh, yeah, let's do that. And that's what they did. I mean, this has been a moneymaker for him all along. And you know, in the first time around, he had people that were actually qualified that were surrounding him, you know, telling him, no, sir, you can't do that. No, sir, you can't do that. Well, I want my generals to be like Hitler's generals. And John Kelly was like, no, sir, I don't think you do. No, I do. They're the loyalist generals. And John Kelly's like, no, sir, they weren't. They, you know, because they actually tried to assassinate Hitler several times. So, I mean, right now, I wish you had those same fucking generals too. I mean, to be honest, let's just get this shit done. I'm sick of it. What's going to happen here? How do you think we're going to stop this? How are we going to end this? This reign of terror that Stephen Miller has wrought upon the United States of America, the fascist states of America at this point. I mean, we can teach other countries how to handle their dictators. We can teach other countries what to do when their countries have a coup or an insurrection involved. We teach them. Their militaries go and arrest those people who are trying to cling to power illegally, unconstitutionally. We can teach them how to do it. They seem to be able to arrest their leaders and take them out of the equation. But we just can't do it to our own, huh? Because that's what we're going to need. I think that's what we're going to need. We're going to have to, our military is going to have to get involved a hell of a lot more than it is right now. And I do believe that we have a lot of service members who are not down with you know, using enforcement actions against the American people. That's not what they were trained for. That's not what they decided to go and join up for. Was to beat up brown people or to try to, you know, and I had a bunch of people come out against a TikTok video I made earlier about California passing a bill that would prohibit anybody from using masks across their face while they're performing law enforcement functions. And none of our cops in America have ever used fucking masks. So don't you tell me now, MAGA, oh, it's there to protect them. If they stopped breaking the fucking law, they wouldn't have to worry about being protected now, would they? If they stopped breaking the fucking law and shredding our Constitution, they wouldn't have to worry about being doxxed, right? Our police officers in this country walk away proudly with their faces showing every fucking day. They do. They do. I know some of them. They don't feel the need to put masks on when they're driving around in their patrol cars, pulling people over for speeding. Even when they go on drug busts, they don't feel the need to cover their faces up. Not for the function of hiding their identities. This has never happened in this country before. This is all since Trump got back into office. All of this. This isn't normal. Stop acting like this shit is normal. We don't want our law enforcement people to cover their fucking faces. Do you know what that means to people who are the subject of those kind of attacks? Can you imagine how you'd feel if somebody just ran up to you while you're walking your dog down the street and like 4 or 5 guys with masks just came running at you with guns? You're not going to see the little tiny thing on their back that says FBI or law enforcement. Half the time they don't even say shit. They just run up to people, throw them down on the ground, push them. It's bullshit. This isn't America, man. It's not America. But it makes people panic, okay? It makes people more likely to run, panic, or pull a gun out themselves and shoot because they think they're being kidnapped. And don't tell me, oh, people should know by now it's just ICE. It's fucking just unacceptable is what it is. No, we're not just going to know that. We're not just going to have this normalized in this country. And I hope you're all with me on that. Thank you for watching my videos. I'll be back later.